Good morning, everybody. Hi, this is Mike from the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation coming to you from Flagler Voice Podcast Studio. We will be right back with our special guest today. Okay, I thought something went wrong, but it didn't go wrong. So there'll be a little hesitation in there. Again, back with you, Mike Feldbauer from the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation, coming to you from the Flagler Voice Podcast Studios here in Palm Coast. And my special guest today is Miss Lisa Coldwell, who is currently a member of the Drug Court program and also a super member of the Drug Court Foundation. So welcome, Lisa. How you doing today?
Good. How are you, Mr. Mike?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Yep. So, Miss Lisa, we're going to talk to you a little bit about your journey, where you've been, where you're going, where are you now, and where you plan on going. So, if you would just give us a background, basically, what you feel comfortable talking about. That's all it is. Tell us how you got involved with drug court, and then how you got with the Drug Court Foundation. All right, so go for it.
Well, my name's Lisa Coldwell. I'm a mother of three, two girls and a boy. I have 8 grandchildren. Um, I was born into a family of addiction. I'm the middle child. My parents were alcoholics. I started using at a very young age. Um, I was searching for something and drugs that I wasn't getting at home. Um, I searched a lot for love, and I found my love in drugs, I guess. Um, I have been married now for 36 years. Um,
Fantastic.
I have been through very big trials and tribulations through my marriage with my addiction. Me and my husband were both in addiction um, for probably the first 15 years of our marriage. It was a very abusive marriage on both sides of both counts. Um, Me and my husband first got into recovery when DCF come in and removed our children. That was back in 2004. At that point, my husband and me were the first couple to ever graduate the family drug court program when it first came out. And I did a year's treatment in Little Warm in Daytona for a year in that program. Um, at the end of the program, it didn't work out as well as I thought it was going to be, and I ended up getting incarcerated. Um, the judge was just over, me at that point in time in my life. I was in my 20s, and I was incarcerated for 13 months in Lowell Correctional Facility. And I thought I had a good start on my recovery at that point, and I took it for granted and got a weekend away from the place after getting my apartment and decided that I was gonna sip some Mad Dog. No, the worst mistake I ever made in my life. I did run back to that treatment center. SMA in the beginning of my recovery was great. Um, After I got out of prison in 2005, me and my husband were in sobriety in our recovery for 11 years. Um, and that time of my recovery, I was sober. I wasn't clean. I didn't use for 11 years. I got my children back. They graduated high school. I did what I needed to do as a mother, but my attitude, my way of thinking, everything was the same. Nothing changed when it came to that. I just didn't use. So after 11 years, I thought I was good to go to Bike Week in Daytona, and I relapsed. At that point in time, I relapsed on cocaine. I used for 4 years before I got clean. Um, I moved out into the country in Flagler County in what they call the Mondex. At that point in time, I never knew what methamphetamine was. And I didn't want to use anymore. I didn't want to do cocaine anymore. It's been, 4 more years of my life gone after being clean. So I thought I'd try that. And it got me off the cocaine, but it gave me a new addiction.
Out there in that part of the country, out there in Flagler County, that part there for quite a while, it was very heavy into the methamphetamine area.
It still is. It is. It is getting better. Um, the Flagler County Sheriff Department is really working hard at cleaning it up out there, and it is getting cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in time out there, there's a very, very bad addiction to fentanyl. Um, I decided I was just done. Um, I got arrested and was incarcerated and went to jail for 3 months. At that point in time, they sentenced me to residential. I went to Warm, SMA in Warm, and started my recovery over again. SMA, I'm very good at running from places and
Mm-hmm.
things. I run from everything all my life. I just didn't want to deal with it. And I was there for 2 days and I ran. I ran as fast as I could. Ran as fast as I could. Got home and my husband brought me right back. And I went back to Warm. From there, after 3 months, I went to the SMA program in Ocala. In Ocala, it was an amazing program. They have an amazing program. I worked a lot with my trauma while I was in the SMA. Something in my recovery, I never actually worked on anything. I was just sober. This time around, I actually wanted to deal with the traumas that I had. And my biggest thing was to learn to love myself, to forgive. Forgiveness, I could forget, but forgiving was something I had a really hard issue doing.
Yep.
And the biggest thing was forgiving myself. I learned to do that in Warm. I learned to do that in the Ocala program. The Ocala program is amazing. Unfortunately, what brought me into the drug court program was I was 2 weeks into graduation at the Ocala program. And because of my addictive behaviors and my usage, I have heart problems. And my heart was stopping on me. I was hospitalized 2 weeks before our graduation and went through surgery and had a recorder put in my chest. At the time I was discharged from the hospital, I was leaving hospital to come back to Flagler County because this is where my doctors are. This is where the heart doctor was. And on my assumption, which isn't never so good for me, I thought they were going to give me a medical discharge. Unfortunately, I left them there, transferred my probation back to Flagler County, came home, got my recorder hooked up and everything. 2 days later, I was arrested. I was arrested for leaving the treatment center under not under their medical advice, without medical advice. I guess they assumed that they could take care of my medical problems, and I was on a misunderstanding. They were going to give me a medical discharge, but they said I left against medical advice. I worked really hard on my program. At that point, I had done 3 months in jail, 6 months in treatment. And here I am 2 days later, back in jail again. At that point in time, my husband came down with cancer. My higher power, I choose to be God, put me in that place for a reason. And one, to keep me safe from myself, to teach me to get closer to him, and I did that. For my husband, I was on my knees a lot. I learned to pray. I learned how to pray for real. And I was gone for a year from my husband after 36 years of marriage while he was going through the worst time of his life. But God saved him. He's free of cancer right now. And
Praise God.
he's a very, very supportive man for me. I decided I was given a sentence of 270 days. I had already served 6 months, but it was 4 more months left. And at that point, I'd been gone for a year, and I just didn't want to be there. I was losing all of the hope that I had put into my recovery being there. And I knew I wasn't going to go any further. And what I might do when I got out of jail because I had no consequences anymore. So a young gentleman, Mr. D, from the coordinator of the drug court program, came to the jail and spoke with me. I told him I wanted to volunteer for the drug court program. I'd been told a lot of things about the drug court program. Told, you're not going to make it, Lisa. You can't do it. Nobody can do it. You can't do it. All it's gonna do is set you up for failure. You're coming back to jail. Why? There's nothing I can't do if I don't set my mind to it. And I told Mr. D, I want to do the drug court program. I need more than what I've got. I don't want to just get out of here and be left to my head again. I have mental health issues. At that point in time, I was on a ton of medication. I actually found out my medication was what was stopping my heart. So when I came into the drug court program, for the first time in my life, I became accountable. I couldn't blame it on anybody anymore. I became accountable for my own actions. My reactions were something I never really looked at until I got into the drug court program. I was a very angry, very hateful, very mean person. And it showed in the way I reacted and the way I acted toward things. That is one of the biggest things that drug court has taught me, is to be accountable for myself. I can't blame things on anybody anymore. My reaction and how I react to things today is totally different than it was before.
Well, I can tell our listening and viewing audience that the Lisa that I first met when she first came into the program is not the Lisa that I'm sitting across from this morning. And if you hadn't heard the story, you wouldn't have believed it by knowing the lady that's sitting here and talking to you today. So, yeah, it's made what we've seen is a remarkable change, a very positive change. So, yeah, keep going, man.
The drug court program, when you want it, it works. And it's given me and is still giving me more than I ever anticipated from the program itself. Not just to get out, to get away with having not to be in jail or anything, but it gave me back myself. Treatment and coming into drug court, I found boundaries. I found a love for myself and a purpose. Who would ever think that I'd find a purpose in drug court? But I am a very caring, a very giving, a very helpful person, and there's nothing more that I want to do than to show people that this program absolutely does work, that you can do it.
Yeah, that's the Lisa that I've gotten to know, particularly over the last several months, as she's gotten to this point in her walk through drug court. She's been a great help to us at the Drug Court Foundation as we do a variety of things into the community. She's always there, part of it. And on a personal note, my wife has gone through some very heavy medical issues lately, and Lisa's been there to go visit, cheer her up, help her out, help her what she's been going through and the medical aspect, which has been a real blessing to me, obviously.
Thank you.
So the Lisa that you're all listening to now and hearing this horrendous life story until she got involved and made that decision and understood that there is hope. You know, as you all can see on the screen, hope is what this is all about. And making that personal decision. You got to want it.
Yes.
You don't want it, you ain't going to get it. There's no miracle magic here if you don't want it. If you want it, there can be lots of magic, lots of miracles, lots of work. And it's all it can happen.
Yes,
It can happen.
absolutely. They say that recovery is a journey, and it can be a great journey. Um, I met two people that is one of the biggest part of my support group today. That was actually part of the Drug Court Foundation. Um, this was early on and into my recovery into drug court. And she mentioned the Drug Court Foundation. Getting involved. I think that my recovery for myself really depends and succeeding in what I'm doing is being involved. Um, I've never been a part of the community. I've never. Today, I have met people through the Drug Court Foundation that are wonderful people, that are highly known in the community, that on another aspect I would have never met, um, and met in my recovery as a different person than people could see. Um, I've been incarcerated a few times, so there's plenty of pictures out there that you would not believe were me today. And I feel fulfilled. I feel like I actually never could understand, but God keep my heart beat, bring it back, and that I have a purpose. I used to always ask God, please, Lord, take this addiction away from me. Take this addiction away from me. Um, Talk to me, Lord. Talk to me. I don't hear nothing. Something I've learned Monday night group with you, Mr. Mike, that we have. We talk about the Lord and things. The first time in my life to stop listening for the Lord with my ears and start listening with my heart. And today I listen with my heart and I hear so many things and all the miracles that he's performed in my life with my family and myself I never seen before. But I absolutely know it's only by the grace of God that I'm here today. He's given me that strength today to stay in recovery and to give back and let people know that it is possible. It don't matter how old you are, how young you are. That helps out there. It really is. I've never been one to ask for anything. If I'm down and I'm out, and it's not an easy road.
No,
Being sober is not easy. I still have my tribulations, and it gets hard, and the trials come in, and I get tested. But today it's how I'm going to react to those things, and I know all I have to do is make a phone call. That I have a lot of support with the drug court team, with the Drug Court Foundation, with you, Mr. Mike. There's never a time that I can't make a phone call that it's not answered. I have a sober support. I have friends now that are real, true friends that are clean and sober. And I've never had that before.
it is an incredible journey. And like you said, recovery is a journey. Uh, and your journey is just getting better and better. Now, I know that you're coming close to the end of your drug court program. How much more time do you have in before you graduate from the program?
I believe that I've got, or about 6 months, 5, 6 months maybe. I'm in phase 4. I've been in phase 4. When I go back to court, I'll be in phase 4 for a month. And phase 4 is a 5 month phase.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I have about a month and a half, about 6 weeks left, and then I'll graduate. I figure I'll graduate in June. Just before my birthday, it'd be a great graduation
That's
gift.
great. We'll have a big party.
Yeah.
You have also made a commitment, and I'm going to have you confirm that commitment on air so we have it recorded that you're not going to go away once you graduate. You're still going to stay with us and still be part of the overall help in the community to those in recovery.
Absolutely, Mr. Mike. My number one goal today, and I truly, truly believe that I can do this and that it is something in my life that I want to be able to see myself do. And one day, I would love to sit in the courtroom on the Drug Court Foundation, on the team, be a part for the women, for the men, showing them that, it's not just about doing drug court and going back out and failing, that it's something in sobriety and being in our recovery that we can continue to do. And I want to give that hope to all these people that come into the program and think, oh, I'm never going to make it, or this is just too much. It's not. If you just put everything into wanting a better life, I have a life today. I'm 60 years old, and I have a life today with my children and my family that I have never had. I
That's it.
wouldn't give that up for
Yeah.
nothing in the world.
That's absolutely incredible. And it's stories and not just the story, but seeing the success in what you're going through and others that have been in the program is what keeps the rest of us that are involved in helping going. Because it is a roller coaster ride for many people, and it's a roller coaster ride for those of us who are on this side of the journey here that want to help. When we see good stuff happening, and then we get a phone call. So your stories are the stories that help us keep going on our side, and they will help those that are in recovery. Drug court is not easy. No, it's not. But I defy anybody to tell me that drug court's harder than active addiction. Okay? So when people try, and even like Mr. D and the judge will tell people, this is a difficult program. But understand, active addiction is very difficult.
Absolutely.
Okay. And when you have a program like Drug Court with all the support from the drug court team, plus the support that it's available if you want it, we don't push our support on people. But if you want it, the Drug Court Foundation is there to help in any way we can with things the court can't accomplish for the particular participants to make it easier for them from their recovery. So that's what we're about. We're about educating our community. Well, the Drug Court Foundation was the first nonprofit in the county to get Narcan to give away free to help people survive. Overdoses over the last 5 years in our county have been severe. They were starting to get a little bit better, but in the last few weeks, it's gotten more severe again. So we got to be careful. Our job is getting this Narcan out to as many people as we can. It's what the Surgeon General in the state of Florida wants. He wants everybody to have it so they can help somebody, even if you don't know them. Because if they don't survive, they can't recover.
Right.
And we also want to have the community understand that active addiction, problems with substance abuse, is not some Hollywood movie. It's not happening all in the back alleys in New York, Chicago, LA, Dallas, Houston. It's in every neighborhood, everywhere you go. It has no boundaries at all.
No.
It has no boundaries based on your skin color, your ethnicity, your address. It's there. We use a severe example that we've had in one of our members of our team that works very hard in helping people not go through what they went through. They lost a daughter to an overdose. They lived in a guarded, gated community. Okay?
Yes.
Beautiful trees, beautiful lawns. Okay, it didn't stop the drug pusher to get in and supply that drug that killed that young lady. And I'm thankful for our sheriff's department because it took them a long time of properly identifying who it was. And in our county, it was the first drug dealer, and we'll define the difference of dealer and somebody just selling to get their own supplies. There is a difference there, who went on a murder one trial, ended up with 30 years negotiated. And now our sheriff's department treats every overdose death as a murder until proven otherwise.
Right.
And our program out at our jail is unlike most jails we find around the state. They have programs. They've got treatment providing 5 days a week if you qualify and want it. The key is wanting, desiring it. They have all kinds of job training out there. Sheriff will say, come in our county, screw around, I'm going to get you. But I am going to give you an opportunity while you're living here at the Green Roof Inn to find ways that you don't come back. So all kinds of job training that they've had available out there: HVAC training, electrical training, food management training, car wrap training, all this kind of stuff to give people an opportunity when they leave to have a good program. They have what they call the SMART program in the jail now, which does offer treatment 5 days a week.
Yes.
And we have 2 individual pods, so they separate people that have been suffering from substance abuse that want the help, still want, and they have one for the women and one for the men. Takes them out of the general population so they can concentrate on recovery if they want it.
Yes.
And that's
It's a very, very good program when that
it,
came out.
it really is. And that program works very closely with the drug court program and providing people that coming into our program, give them that 90 days of treatment sometimes that they need before they come in to do the rest of it. So we're really happy. And people, if you're out there, you probably maybe, and if not, go out there to our YouTube channel and find out look at the interviews that we had with Will and Danielle, who work in the SMART program out there, who have come through similar stories, little obviously different. Every story is different, but similar, and now see what they're doing. It's one of the things, our sheriff's department and our county court are 2 of the county agencies that help in the world of recovery. We do need more. There's no question.
Yes,
And we need organizations outside of the government to get together and help each other, because none of us can do it alone. And we can't look to see whose name is on the top of the letterhead, if you know what I mean. It's using what we have available to do that kind of stuff. So, Lisa, I really thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. I appreciate you having me.
And you can plan on coming back right after graduation.
Great.
And we will have that.
Absolutely.
We'll have that going on here at that point in time. So, again, thanks a lot. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon, everybody.
Thank you for all the help.
Yeah, everybody, keep watching. Those of you that might own your own businesses, we have an opportunity for you all to help us. We have a program called Club 100, which is looking for 100 local Flagler businesses to contribute $120 a year to help us with the budget for the things that we do to help people. We are 98% volunteers. We have 1 part-time employee with us. Everybody else is a volunteer. So all the money that comes in goes to help our volunteers, train them, and to help the participants in the programs. So when you're donating even $1, which I always tell people, that's 100% more than people who gave nothing. That dollar is going to help in the world of recovery. So again, Mike Feldbauer from the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation, coming to you from the Flagler Voice podcast studio out here in Palm Coast. Have a great day. If I can get this right. There we go.